Hello, this is JilliBling of JilliBling.com. Oop, I've got it right here. JilliBling.com. And today I would love to share with you a project that I made for my friend Hannah. You've probably heard me refer to her as Haircut Hannah. Sweetest thing, and she's moving away to Colorado. Not to say that I'm heartbroken, but I'm very happy for her. It's a new chapter in her life. And I wanted to make her a I've moved card. And this is what I came up with. So it's kind of 3D. So when you look at it there, so it fits in the envelope like this, flat. Oh, and you could write on the back. But then it kind of pops up. So see, you could see it right there, how it pops up. You can go that way too. So there's 2 layers of mountains, a layer of trees, and then of course the die cut trees. And you can use, I know that this stamp set, Beautiful Ride, that tells me it's retired. It's a retired stamp set, but I love the Love Bug. But if you have any stamp set, and again, this is another retired one, this little car would work perfectly driving right down here, and then you could put maybe some of the other items in the stamp set down here. But anything that you have with a little vehicle will work just fine. And I put luggage on there. I like how that turned out. And I'm thinking, oh, I should have done it. I'm going to put luggage here. But I want to do this card on a video because, let me show you what I'm going to give to Hannah. Here's a sample. Oh, before I get to that, Mountain Air, it's primarily based on this stamp set. Whatever you have for a little vehicle is good. Here's the die set, and it cuts out the mountain and it cuts out the trees and plenty of other things, and it's called Majestic Mountain. So here is the end result. But in this bag for Hannah, my friend, this is what you'll get. These are stamped, the little luggage, so you don't have to color it in. So this project I colored using the blends, and I know you don't have blends, and I know that from, I think it's last year or the year before, the Christmas card, you have a few of the watercolor pencils. So for today, and for your projects, you could use watercolor pencils, and then you can use an aqua painter or a paintbrush. This isn't, I use this one for embossing powder, but just any paintbrush will do if you don't have an aqua painter. Okay, so in her little bag, luggage, the Love Bug, and I'll show you more about these 2 luggages. Why do I have 2 of them? I'll show you in a minute. You have your mountains, 2 per card, and your cutout evergreens, 2 per card, and they're in all different colors. They say neutrals, they all go together. I hope so. I have all these different greens, and I'm hoping that they'll go together. So these are your trees. I've moved, and you just cut that with the scissors. I'll show you how to do that. A few moons, sparkly moons. This is for, oh, I didn't stamp it on there. This is for the back of the card. Well, I don't know if I could stamp it at this point. Just pretend like it's okay. That was a, let me add that on because it looks so good. And these papers here are different sizes and different colors. So there's a brighter blue and a navy blue. And that is for, I'll hold it up close, navy, and then the brighter blue. And that just kind of makes it look like it's a little bit glowing to add a little bit more substance to the card. Here is envelopes. You have to get a bigger one, a bigger size envelope. These are square. I got them from clear bags. And when you mail a square envelope, the post office charges more. So just be aware of that if ever you use a square envelope. Not so much that it's bigger, but more that it's square, because they say that it could roll around when it goes through the machine, so you have to have a little bit of special postage care. I think they just find any reason to take your money. envelopes, big ones from clear bags. This right here is for these green trees back here, and that just hand cut it out right along the, what do they call that, like the silhouette of the trees, and that will become this piece here. We'll do it all in just a minute. These pieces, and there's a few extra ones in here, Hannah, are for these panels here, and those you could use dry adhesive or liquid glue to stick them down. Anyways, fine, but you'll need 4 per card. And here is the base, and this is all, they're all scored. Can you see? I have the score lines on here, and this shows you how to fold them up. And I'll show you how to assemble it. I have just a little bit of a trick. It's not that hard, but I have a trick to make sure that when it's in the envelope, it's completely flat. Okay, so here's that. That's the bag it all goes in. So, because I know those that subscribe are Stampin' people, you'll probably want to know the sizes of the paper and the score lines. So, this is looking, I tried quite a few times. Scored at 1 1/8, 2 1/4, 6 1/4, 7 3/8, and then that's the end. And paper sizes. So if you're going to be doing this, I'd say just in 1 second or so, hit the pause button, and then you could copy down these sizes. The base paper is in half. The bright blue, I have the sizes for everything. And this is how many you could get per sheet of paper. And then after you fold it up, this is the final size of the card. Okay, pause it. Okay, take down those numbers. Woohoo! Okay. So, Hannah, all you need to know is how to make this thing. Here's a sample. We'll use dimensionals for behind the luggage and the love bug. Here's a love bug. You cut this out. Cut it out. So Hannah, when you're driving, and I know it'll take you probably at least 1 day to get there, in your hotel room, on your sleepover day, you can cut out a whole bunch of love bugs. I know you probably won't have your pencils with you, because they're probably packed and in your first load of, I think you said you sent a whole bunch of stuff with someone a few months ago, but they're probably, crafts are probably packed away. Okay, there's love bug. And while I have my scissors going, also pull this piece out. These are the 2 pieces you'll want to take to the hotel room and just cut them out. And anyone who has this bundle, you're probably saying, why are you doing that? Because there's a die for it. But the die goes from here to about here, and then it leaves a line through there. And that doesn't look so good. So it's not too much to ask to cut out just the trees. And they don't have to be perfect. It's okay if they have a little white border on them. It makes it, first of all, easier for cutting. And then it kind of looks maybe a little snowy. And another thing is if you cut right to the line, it gets lost. The green trees get lost in the mountains back behind. This makes the mountains or the trees stand out just a little bit. I've had this bundle for a while, the mountain air, And I see so many people doing nice things with it. I did that one gray project with it that was really unique. I think Martin's Mayhem. He originated that design. Very different, very unique. I liked it. I still like it. You could scroll back in past videos if you're interested. Okay, trees are cut out. There's the trees. Okay, so what pieces do we have here? Envelopes, don't need those for right now. I'd like to start with the bottom and work up. Pieces and pieces. Okay, so this is the back. So Hannah, you could write a little message to your people and say, hey, I've moved. Here's my new address. And that could go right here. Okay, that's the back. Here's the front. This piece is going to go on here. Let me find this. Okay, bright blue, navy blue. I'll put adhesive on both of those. Hannah, I know you have your little tape runner, snail, and if you can't find, or if you don't have enough adhesive, any office supply place or craft store, they sell refills. Okay, so that one's right in there. This one goes on top. Okay, so now these blue panels, navy, night and navy, there's 4 of them. And these navy strips just get put in the middle of the panel. Just do your best to have it straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. Because when you get the card, you'll look at the little card, the message, the mountains. You're not going to look at the panels. But they go on quite easy. Okay, so, see, it's feeling good. So, I was going to say we could put this on, but we had to put the mountains on first. So mountains are here and here. And when I cut them out, some of them, let me hold this up close. I didn't cut that good against here. You could take your scissors and trim it, or you could just pretend like that's where the snow fell. Ha! So I have 2 mountains, and they get put on. I'm going to put a strip of adhesive right here on both of them. And I'm trying to put it way down to the bottom edge. So, I'm not going to put them on quite yet. I'll show you why. So this one, on back beneath here, I want it to go to this edge of the paper, and then this one is going to be offset just a little bit over to this edge of the paper. So that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, that one can go right about here. You know what? I can see some adhesive through there. I'm going to have to get my adhesive remover. So if I were doing this again, I would say maybe put adhesive just at the bottom or on the tips of the trees. That might be better. Now this one will be no problem. And again, I'm trying to line up this edge with this. Have them staggered a bit. Ooh, I like big mountains, but then the adhesive is showing through. That's nice how they're kind of staggered now. Okay, so if you did what I said, you have adhesive showing through here. You can use this if you have an adhesive remover. And if you don't, if you have your embossing buddy, you could put it over the top and that will stop anything from being sticky. Just don't do what I did. Okay, well that's good. Okay, so now this piece is going to go on to the card base. And not that it's that hard to do, but it's going to go at the bottom. So on the card, let me make sure you can see what I'm talking about. This piece that's sticking up right here, this one down at the bottom here, and right here. So just on these two pieces, maybe 1.5 inches of adhesive. So I have adhesive from here down and from here down. Okay, and now I have this piece, and to put it on, I'm going to open it up so this piece is still folded and this is completely flat. Put it right here in the corner. And then that one perfectly fits right into this corner. See, that wasn't so hard. Look, it works. Oh, our hobby. I love it. I don't know what I have on here. Maybe tape. But it doesn't go away. Now I think it's on my finger. Okay, carry on, carry on. Okay, so the card base is pretty much done. So next is the trees. They could go on, and I'm going to use liquid glue. Well, first of all, take all these little pieces out. Almost done. Okay, all these little pieces into the garbage. Okay, so now for the trees, use your liquid glue. Whatever you have is fine. And you don't have to get glue on every single little branch. Primarily, get glue on the stem, I hear a dog getting feisty over there. He just woke up from his nap. That dog can sleep. So now I'm putting glue just on some of the tips. Oh, and you know what? See, hindsight is good. I probably shouldn't have put it on all of the tips because look how these are just kind of floating in the air. Well, this one, I'll put it on that side. That whole tree is on. So this one is a little bit lower, right there. Okay, good. So your next tree, which is going to go here, but a little higher, don't put it on these tips. I think if you just put it on the tree trunk, it probably would be enough to hold it on. Okay, so this one is going to go a little bit higher because my love bug is going to be over there. And you know, when you're doing liquid glue, sometimes if you just get it right into place, go about your way, knowing that that glue is kind of absorbing into the paper and the liquid is evaporating. Go about your way and then come back after you do the next step and push it down, because at that point the glue will be tackier and it could hold on better. Okay, what's next? Let's do the bug. So the bug, I'm going to try something different. Like I said, this one I used the blends, which worked out perfect, but I know everyone doesn't have the blends. You could use markers if you have markers at home. These are all the different ones, but not everyone has markers. But I know for sure Hannah has watercolor pencils, and I haven't used these in a long time. So what color should I do this bug? How about that one I did light blue? I'm going to make this one a little wild and crazy. What color? What color, Hannah? How about pink for girl? So I'm going to try to find maybe 2 different tones. One tone is fine. And I'm not going to color it really solid and dark. And this gray, is that gray or black? Basic gray. Or just light black can be used for the tires. And I think that's it. So watercolor pencils are a lot of fun. I'll just get started and show you. So the object, first of all, one point, usually when there's 1 point, we remember what it is. When you're using the pencils, the object is, I have 2 different colors here, is to apply the pencil, apply color to your paper. And if you color really hard, you'll get little pencil line streaks, which is expected. But if there's any way that you could keep coloring softly until you get a flat side, like you could imagine right down here, it's becoming flat, then you're really applying the color, which is going to work out here in a minute. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so now the pencil is right where I want it to be. Normally, when you color, you want nice, sharp, pointy pencils. Not in this case. That dull, flat edge is good. So you could tell, see how I have like a broader stroke and it's really smooth and even in color delivery? And even if you just left it like this, if you had regular pencils rather than watercolor pencils, this is fine too. Because it's flat, I could go up here and you don't see any of the streaks of, oh, that's a heavy pointy pencil, like you did down here. So I'm just trying to get it all one tone. I'll hold this up here close in just a minute. I'm kind of on a roll right here. You know, I think I need to use watercolor pencils more often. Wait till you see how fun this is after I apply the water. Yeah. The rest of that I'll do silver, like it's chrome. Okay, I'm trying to apply a little bit more color. Make it just a little darker now that my tip is flat. I don't know that I need 2 colors. Maybe the one color is going to be fine. Okay, so now I've got that. Now with the pencil, same one, I'm going to try to do it heavier where I want the shadows. Just a little bit. I'm putting just a little bit more pressure on. Okay, I'm putting a lot of pressure. It's not making much of a difference because it's all flat there. Okay, I have a lot of pressure right there. Maybe I'll rotate the pencil a little bit to get more color. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up close. So see how I was putting more pressure here? And also see how the love bug is completely filled in. I try to get it as smooth without streaks as possible, which will pay off in just a minute. Okay, you ready? Aqua painter or paintbrush, doesn't matter. And before you do this, you kind of have one shot at it while the paper is wet from the aqua painter. The colored pencil, the watercolor pencil, the color will move around on the love bug, but once it dries, it's kind of concrete. It's set. So if you're aware of that, that's no problem. I'm going to make sure there's liquid coming from here. I'm going to start at the top, and maybe I'll do one fender or one section of the car at a time. Have it right here. And it just makes it smoother. And it takes any of those streaks out. And I'll hold this up just a minute. Do this fender. Ooh, that one you could really tell. I think that's why I was putting more pressure on the pencil. In just a minute, I'll hold it up. And because it's art, it doesn't have to get every spot colored. Okay, so here we go. Isn't that cute? You can see how, oh, right there. Oh, and if you go outside the lines, you can't fix it, so don't go outside the lines. So you could see all the places that I applied the watercolor pencil. It's like the pencil material, it dissolved and it became paint. Oh, I didn't do right here. Maybe you could see it. And I stamped this with Stays On. Stays On is a permanent ink, so because I'm using a water product, it won't disturb and distort the lines. Okay, so now, let me try this right here. Woohoo! Okay, so I'm going to try to do this whole area in one. Kind of leaving it a little bit streaky. Not on purpose, but it's just how it goes. Okay, so you could see it dissolving there. Okay. It's kind of hard to do it holding it up. It'll be easier if you have a flat surface to work on. A pink love bug. This is a little pinker than I planned, but it's still very cute. Oh, look how that turned out. Love it. Isn't that cute? Okay. And if your paper warps, when it dries, it will flatten out a bit. And then when we put dimensionals on it, it will flatten it out more. Okay, so that was using this pencil. That doesn't tell me what name it is. That's fine. And now next for everywhere there's shiny. Oh, let me show you something a little bit different. This one is basic gray, and I'm going to pretend like this is the chrome. First of all, your paintbrush or your aqua painter, make sure there's no more pink in there. So to do this, this is a little bit different. I'll do it right down here. Apply water. So now when I do the pencil down here, the pencil is going to start absorbing, or what do you call that? Kind of dissolving the pencil lead as I touch the wet paper. So it'll come out a little bit darker. You know what? Let me show you with a different color, because this one is really light. So Hannah, if you want a really dark love bug, I'll do it first the way we did. Oop, different one. So, when we originally did the love bug, we colored it, and then dissolved the pencil lead. Okay, now we're going to do it different, where we first do a little bit of water, now do the pencil. See how it comes out like really strong and heavy? That turned out pretty smooth too. Guess you don't even need to fill it in. Let me try that again. Just water. That might be an easier way to go, because that came out. So these are considerably stronger than these. Okay. So with that said, make sure there's no pink. This is my chrome. I'm going to fill in all the spots. Okay, so also chrome, I will have this thing, little door handle, and I'll have the mirror holder. Then let's see, how about bumper? The light, maybe I should have the rear lights. They could be like an orange color. Front bumper. Okay, now the rims. I should do the center too. So when I was a kid and I was getting my very first car, Mom was going to help me. She said, "That's great. There's one thing." She told me two things when I was a teenager. I'm going to get the black for the tires. She said, "You can't work at a fast food restaurant." Okay, whatever. "And you cannot have a Volkswagen Bug." I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And sure enough, it came time to buy one, and a Volkswagen Bug was there and available. Kind of cute, but I really don't have a fascination with them. But I knew that she didn't want me to have it. I should ask her about that, because I don't know why. I think they're kind of cute now. Okay, there's a tire. And because it's art, it doesn't have to be perfect. I didn't color that one in perfectly. I'm trying to leave kind of white walls here. Some of my pink car color snuck into the tires, so it's nice to color it in with the black. And Hannah, if you don't have all the colors you want, you could, whatever markers you have, you could color in the tires. If you have a black Sharpie, color in the tires. Okay. Maybe a little bit of color for the underside of the car. And I was going to do the headlights, but I think I'll leave them plain. Cute. I like that. Okay. All those pieces and things. How's this doing? Good. Okay, so the car is going to go here. I like pink. And I'm going to put it on dimensionals. It didn't stamp good. Turn it over. Magic paper. We get 2 tries. Okay, that's good. Okay, so this can go here, covering up a little bit of the bottom of the tree. Look at that. Okay, what else do I have over here? Oh, the moon can go on. You know what? I'm going to put the moon somewhere else. But until I get this, okay, so Hannah, these I printed on my printer, and it's Stampin' Up! White paper, and I just painted them in black. So you have this piece. Well, here, I'll show you on this one. With your scissors, if you have a paper cutter, paper cut it, but I don't know that you do. Just use your snips to cut a strip. So now, just a little bit there. And then this, I just cut at an angle. If you want, you can flag it, but I kind of like the simple angle. Okay, and then this will go on dimensionals. How about the edge of dimensionals? Got to use up all those little pieces. They're just as good. So this, I think it belongs in the middle of this panel. But maybe I'll put it, what did I do here? That's right in the middle of the panel. Maybe I'll put it over here on this side. And then the moon, can go a little bit higher in the sky on that side. I kind of like that. Oh, this one is cute how it's sitting back behind the mountain, so. Okay, so now I have my 2 white luggage pieces and my 2 printed ones. That's just printed on some designer paper I had. So when I did this one and I had to color in all those little pieces, which was fine, but I think this is going to be better. So this one you cut out all the luggage. It's already colored with a little pattern, just a little bit of a pattern. So when I went to color those pieces of luggage, I thought, well, what color should I do luggage? Well, what color luggage do I have? It's black. Before that it was gray. When I go to the airport, what does everyone have? Neutral colors, black, gray, and then all of a sudden you see the one bright turquoise one. And I said to myself, from this point forward, I am going to get me some bright luggage next time it comes around. Hannah, if you had this luggage, you're going through the airport, there'd be no problem finding it. Okay, so these 2 things are cut out. Now I'll cut out this one, and I'm going to purposely cut inside the lines because the printed one will fit right on top of it, but I want to preserve the bow. Here, I'll hold this up on a dark paper in just a minute. The little bow kind of drifts off to the side here. Okay, and then the rest of it, whatever. The rest of it right above the line. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did here. Not that it's all that tricky, but you could tell how quick I did that. So on the luggage, let me see if you could see this. Right there, see how I kept the bow? And then I just kind of hacked off all those sides. And that's because this piece will fit right over the top. You could see the perfect sides, and then the bow is in white. Why should the bow be in white? Because if the bow was in the printed pattern, having it sit on top of here, it would look bad. Also, because it's in white, when I put the little luggage right down here, because there's white paper back behind here, it just looks like a perfect bow, no trimming, nothing needed. But you could do whatever you like to do. But that's, to me, that works out well. And I could put it, the tape runner on here. Because the glue is sitting here, I'll just put this on. One luggage done. And you know how I kind of cut off the edge of the white luggage? You can kind of see it right there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. When I was stamping with StazOn and polymer is challenging. But Hannah, when you find your little luggages, if some of this is not stamped well, it's okay. It's covered up with the printed paper. And I'm pretty much just preserving the bow, cutting that out. And the rest of the white is just a platform for the designer paper to sit on. A little bit funky looking. But you know, if you had the Mountain Air, and you probably don't have the Love Bug set, if you took Darling Donkeys or the zebras, they could be trotting across saying, "Happy birthday!" Not that zebras and donkeys are in my head. I love that set. Okay, there's my two luggages. So one of them, because I just glued this one, I'll set it there. This one I'll put a dimensional on the back. That could go right on top. Just like that. Boy, are we almost done? This one, because it's on back, I'm just going to put it on with glue or tape runner, whatever you have. And I'll put it right here. Just like that. That's it. That's it. Okay, Hannah. Oh, you're off and on your way. Stay in touch. For all of you stampers, I will put all the products used that we can still get on my blog. My blog is JilliBling.com. If you haven't already, hit the little subscribe button and a thumbs up. And I hope you have a great day. Until next time, bye.